I don't respect their authority over me. They are a false religious institution.
And Alvin Hurd was also a member of Jehovah's Witnesses congregation in Red Bluff, California. Oh my God! How many of these old geezers do they have going around raping kids? Sweet Christ. Red Bluff, California, folks. I guess the lesson here, if you are considering moving your family to Red Bluff congregation, you may want to reconsider that at this point. He was also excommunicated, disfellowshipped as we say, for molesting children. My God, how many children were in this congregation? Their butt cracks must be like raw hamburger by now. Hold on. I don't believe any of this. I don't think for a second that this man raped children. He looks like a kindly old grandfather. I think we should give him a second chance. After all, he is one of our Christian brothers. Oh! He's got me! Oh! He's penetrated my sphincter! Oh no! Oh! He's really giving me a piece of the action! His dick's like sandpaper! Oh, it's so dry! He just popped like a fire hydrant! I endured that experience, and I don't think it was that bad. Children always exaggerate. You're a very generous lover. Thank you. Goodbye, Grandpa. I enjoyed that. In Hurd's case, records show that the church first learned of the abuse in 1981 when the local congregation sent a letter to the national headquarters explaining that Hurd was kicked out after he admitted sexually abusing 3 children whose ages range from 5, 9, and 11 years. Well, he liked his variety. That's the spice of life. 1981. That was a long-ass time ago. In a deposition filed as part of the recent civil lawsuits, Hurd admitted confessing to church elders in the late 1980s that he had molested 4 more young children. His punishment at that time? Private reproval. You read that right, folks. In other words, church elders chastised him privately. We're going to chastise you privately this time. For Jehovah's sake. But never told the other members of the congregation, according to the deposition. No need to get them involved. They need to stay focused on the preaching and teaching work. Again, it appears that the church did not pass the information on to police or child welfare authority. Time for a nap. In the 1990s, Hurd moved to South Dakota. Get ready, South Dakota! In his deposition, he said he told church elders there that he had a history of child molestation. Wait here. Before I continue to the next sentence, I'm going to take a wild stab at this. I'm going to guess that the local elders did not have any problem with him being a child molester, and it did not present a problem in any way. They, too, apparently kept his secret. Sometimes we have to keep secrets for Jehovah. You see, the Bible commands us to do all things for God's glory. And warning people that there's a child molester in the hall could reflect badly on the preaching work. By 2003, Hurd had moved to Oregon. Jesus almighty! This guy was on a wagon train across America! January 2004, he was indicted for sexually abusing a 5-year-old boy. These people are sick. These are sick, nasty people. May they burn in hell. He pleaded guilty and currently is serving 6 years, 3 months in prison. He'll be out in 3 years. Fuck a 5-year-old! Get 3 years. Through the prison warden's office, Hurd declined to be interviewed. He's getting his presentation ready for when he returns to field service. In all, the 9 settled lawsuits involve 16 victims and 8 alleged abusers, all of whom, except Frederick McLean, he got away, have been criminally convicted. Among them, Larry Kelly, a television personality and children's entertainer. Friends, he's a celebrity. JW, like Prince. He's a Jehovah's Witness television personality, children's entertainer, and children rapist. He's a triple threat. Timothy Silva, who reportedly taught adolescent book studies. Oh, gross. At a congregation in Woodland, California. It's that California lifestyle again. I don't understand it, folks. The church allegedly knew of Silva's problem as early as 1987, according to one of the lawsuits, but still allowed him to work with children.
The preaching work comes first. Right, Brother Hurd?
Can you imagine getting raped by this guy? Jesus. How'd you like to have this guy tie you up in his basement? Christ almighty, look at that hair. And a former church member and a vocal critic of the organization on this issue contends that Jehovah's Witness policies protect pedophiles rather than protect the children. How could you ever reach that conclusion? Anderson recently compiled documents from the lawsuits on a CD titled Secrets of Pedophilia in an American Religion. Anderson says she first focused on the controversy in the early 1990s when she worked at the Watchtower Society headquarters in Brooklyn and was assigned to deal with letters from church members complaining of abuse. While conducting that research, she said she discovered that in its internal proceedings against the accused molesters, the church applies a biblically based two-witness rule. They require another witness to the actual molestation, Anderson says, which is an impossibility. Anderson also claims that she discovered the church headquarters kept track of sexual abuse cases in confidential files. The recent lawsuits produced evidence that the headquarters did keep internal records of abuse reports submitted by local congregations. The court filings include a church form called a Child Abuse Telememo. That's a snappy title. Just thinking that they had a memo made up, printed that says Child Abuse Telememo, Anderson says, indicates to me that they were handling this a lot. Because why make up a form for it? These people. What a world. The telememo appears to be a questionnaire to guide officials at headquarters who receive phone calls from local elders. It includes boxes to check, how fun, as to whether alleged incident took place in a reporting state, where clergy by law must report suspected abuse, or in a non-reporting state. I'm guessing they like the non-reporting states better. What do you think? In reporting states, the form instructs officials to advise local elders to make an anonymous phone report from a neutral location, such as a phone booth. Let me read that again for you folks. In reporting states, the form instructs officials to advise local elders to make an anonymous phone report from a neutral location, such as a phone booth. It's 2012. Good luck finding one. Phone booth. What am I going to do? These nut. The church consistently has maintained that it follows all laws on reporting suspected child abuse. Those laws are complex. Yes, because picking up a phone and calling the police and having them investigate, you have to go through quite a few complexities before you would reach that juncture. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, 25 states specifically mandate that clergy report suspected abuse, but 21 of those states recognize exemptions for pastoral communications. We're down to 4 states. There's 4 states where JWs can't get away with this stuff. Another 16 states have a blanket reporting laws. Oh, I take that back, friends. I'm sorry. for which cover any person and may be interpreted as including clergy. 7 of those states also grant pastoral privilege. Okay, we're getting into some dicey. I don't know. I'm not good at long division. You people figure it out. In its statement to I don't know. Pick up a phone and call the cops. I don't see where the you people explain it to me. I'm lost. In its statement to NBC, Jehovah's Witnesses says it does not condone or protect child molesters. Depends on what state you're in, I guess. Our elders expel unrepentant sinners who commit this crime, according to the church. The incident of this is crime among Jehovah's Witnesses rare. The statement said the organization does not silence the victims, and members have an absolute right to report his horrible crime to authorities and get disfellowship. Oh, I'm sorry, friends. I added something that wasn't there. The church has issued many publications about child abuse, including how pleasurable it can be between the including the cover story in the October issue of its magazine, Awake. You forgot the exclamation point at the end. These articles clearly show our concern for protecting children from sexual abuse, as long as you're in the right state. The church said in its statement. In the meantime, Frederick McLean remains on the run. The U.S. Marshal Service said he should be considered armed and dangerous, and possibly suicidal. Well, Frederick, I think I speak for the entire YouTube community when I say, do the right thing for once and kill yourself.
I don't respect their authority over me. They are a false religious institution. I do not respect their authority over me any more than I respect the authority that a Baptist pastor claims over his congregation. I do not respect their authority any more than I respect the authority of a Catholic priest or the papacy to rule on my daily affairs. I do not respect the so-called authority of the elders to decide my repentance.
He looks like a kindly old grandfather. I think we should give him a second chance. After all, he is one of our Christian brothers. Oh! He's got me! Oh! He's penetrated my sphincter! Oh no! Oh! He's really giving me a piece of the action! His dick's like sandpaper! Oh, it's so dry!
I don't respect their authority over me. They are a false religious institution.
Alvin Hurd was also a member of Jehovah's Witnesses congregation in Red Bluff, California. Oh my God! How many of these old geezers do they have going around raping kids? Sweet Christ. Red Bluff, California, folks. I guess the lesson here, if you are considering, sent a letter to the national headquarters explaining that Hurd was kicked out after he admitted sexually abusing 3 children whose ages range from 5, 9, and 11 years. Well, he liked his variety. That's the spice of life. 1981. That was a long-ass time ago. In a deposition filed as part of the recent civil lawsuits, Hurd admitted confessing. Moving your family to Red Bluff congregation, you may want to reconsider that at this point. He was also excommunicated, disfellowshipped as we say, for molesting children. My God, how many children were in this congregation? Their butt cracks must be like raw hamburger by now. Hold on. I don't believe any of this. I don't think for a second that this man raped children. He just popped like a fire hydrant. I endured that experience, and I don't think it was that bad. Children always exaggerate. You're a very generous lover. Thank you. Goodbye, Grandpa. I enjoyed that. In Hurd's case, records show that the church first learned of the abuse in 1981 when the local congregation